Go. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Chef Dennis and superstar Tanika Graves. Yee yee yee. We got something good today. Right now, we're waiting for a few more of our guests to come on. So today's topic we got some questions for it. Today's topic is: can a person that's not married or never been married give advice about marriage on having a successful marriage? All right, I won't go to the questions yet, but that's what we'll be talking about today. And we're waiting for two of our guests to come on. Hopefully, it'll be on shortly. But to me,
Yeah, that's a good
it's it.
topic. That's a
Oh,
good topic. I'll say that.
oh yeah, man. It's just gonna be. It's
It'll be
gonna be.
interesting. I kind of think everybody's going to have the same mindset, but it'll be interesting to see.
Uh, I guess. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. But, because everybody has an opinion, right?
Yeah, but and that's the thing. While we sitting here, we waiting for our guests to come on. That's the thing. Um, it's it's not so much about opinions. You know what I'm saying? It's about everybody has an opinion. But what's up, Cuzzo? But the thing about it is that is your opinion factual? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? When it comes to marriage, is it
Right.
factual? Because at the end of the day, there's only one structure. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody say you can have your own structure, but there's one, structure of marriage. You know what I'm saying? That's the husband and the wife. I know what the world's going on. We already know we grown, we adults. We know the other stuff that's going on, but we're not going to discuss that. So we're not oblivious of what's going on in the world. We talking about, man and woman. You understand what I'm saying? You got me, right? You read between the lines, right?
Yep. Yep.
So and at the end of the day, that's what we really talking about, you know what I'm saying? That type of structure, you know what I'm saying? And we as we waiting, and I know you've been married, I've been married, and I've been divorced, you've been divorced, and now I'm married, I'm currently married now. So just as we waiting, I mean, and you can always, let the guests know, but how do you feel about that?
Um, I don't. You
Or
want me?
look, before you answer that, or do you want to wait till the guests come on and then we'll
Yeah,
dive
yeah,
into that? All right,
yeah.
let's do that. Okay,
Yeah.
I I felt that. I felt that. I said, you know what? Let's wait till the guests come on before we dive right into that. So I said, yeah, you know what? Let's do that.
Yeah.
Um,
But while we're waiting, we were talking about how time is flying. Can
uh,
you believe we're at the end of March just about? We're at the third month of the year, 2024.
of course, I know that's crazy, right?
Yes, it's so crazy how time is flying. The
Yeah.
third month of the year,
Oh my goodness, we're gonna cut this off. That's right there. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, time is flying. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? And
and things are changing. So much is changing, trying to keep up with everything.
right, big time. And listen, I remember I was talking to you and I was telling you about Joy Teller.
Yes.
Now I seen another interview with her, right? With the football guys. And man, let me tell you something. I heard a different side of what she was, talking about. Now it was all men on the platform, and she the only lady. You know what I'm saying? And now, like I said, see, that's what happens when people are hurt, right? They put a defensive mechanism up. They put a wall up and they defend their heart. I mean, protect their heart. You know what I'm saying? And now they want to, talk about relationships. But if they haven't truly healed from that broken heart, how can you sit here and talk about a relationship? You talking from a place of hurt. You
Right.
talking from a place of, I would say like misery, because when you hurt, when people hurt, listen, it takes a minute. It depends on the individual. It takes a minute before they heal from that, because that's an internal wound. It's an
Right.
internal scar. You know what I'm saying? And if it's not healed correctly, you know what I'm saying, you'll never love somebody the way they supposed to be loved. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So true. And then you have to be the listener of somebody that's hurt, giving advice. You have to have discernment to know that they're hurt and they're coming from
Yeah,
a place of hurt.
right.
So
You know what I'm saying? And then you could sometimes, you could see the, the, how can I say it? The passion of their hurt. You can see how they, what I'm saying, they begin to cry, and you really could see how, they've been hurt. You know what I'm saying? And but on that note, that's what. But I said, oh, somebody just popped in. Let me see who that is. All right, there we go. We got him right here. They will not be connected. All right, so I can't hear you, Dave. You popped up on the screen, but your mic. You got to connect your mic. That means it says device is not connected. They will not be. So I can't. They will not be. Let me see. I might. You can stream. So you got to connect. You got to connect your mic and your camera. Maybe not your camera, but your mic. So you got to activate that because it won't allow me to let you come on the stream. So I see you. You popped up in here, but now you got to activate that. Got to go to your settings. But yeah, she said she was in the marriage before, and now watch this. This was crazy when I heard her say that she was in an abusive relationship. Her home she grew up with was an abusive. So man, that's double trouble right there. You know what I'm saying? What type of men is she? And that's what I said. It's crazy because it said I sent it to you. I mean, Saeed, I sent it to you. I don't know what's going on. I sent it to your email. You know the chat that everybody's in. I sent that email out to you. I don't know why it's not connecting you. That's the other guess. Dave, you heard me? I know you. I can still see you on the thing, but I can't hear you or see you speak. So hold on. We trying to get these guests in.
That was a slurp.
Huh? What'd you say?
That was a big slurp.
Oh, Dad, you heard that? That was that clear?
Yep.
Dang. Oh my goodness, man. Man, I'll tell you. Listen, I've been out for about 7 days. Man, I'm telling you right now, for vacation, like my little mini vacation for the birthday. Whew, man, I was almost late to work today. That's how I was like, yo, I didn't hit the alarm or nothing. I was in a deep sleep. I'm like, oh my goodness, man. I made it though. I made it on time.
Feeling the birthday vacation mode.
Yeah, it's over. And I'm like, but I made it. Well, listen, I don't know what's going on. That's what happened. So I might, huh?
We still have color people time now. That's no, it's still real.
I know that's real. Well, what the the one guest, he called me earlier. I'm drinking this passion tea, man. I start drinking my teas.
What is it? Good for something? Is it like a healthy?
Hibiscus? Yes, healthy hibiscus.
Oh, okay, hibiscus. It's the deep burgundy look.
Right. It's actually good. Don't have no caffeine in it. I'm just trying to, I'm about to start detoxing.
You put honey in it?
No, I'm putting nothing in it. Actually, it don't need nothing. Some people can, huh?
It doesn't. You're right.
Yeah, this one tea that I don't have to put nothing in. I think when I put honey in it this morning, it was kind of too sweet when I put the honey in it.
Yeah, just need real little,
Yeah,
honestly, or none.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a summer drink I do, and I make it cold.
Oh, you make it cold? Oh, that I'll try that one, but cold, man. Cold, like cold drinks make you thirsty. You know that, right? Make you more. Yeah. If you drink it for to quench your thirst.
I got some my Smoothie King. This is my Smoothie King.
What's that? That's
healthy smoothie where they put like good proteins and enhancers, supplements.
It got sugar.
Natural sugars.
Yeah,
all natural.
Sugar in your body, man, it make you thirsty, make you want more. I don't know what's up with Dave, man. I don't know. Well, let me see something. Oh, excuse me. I don't know. We still got some time. Now look, the other day, I don't know, man. Woof. It was was long. It was long, but it was good though. Everybody was chiming in, trying to get in and fit in where they can. Everybody wanted to,
Oh, Monday?
Yeah. I asked some people to call me. It was real interesting.
Yeah, when everybody online and able to talk, it becomes a good conversation.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to listen. I might have to do a switcheroo because this top right here. I don't know. We gonna have to, me and you gonna have to talk about it until they get in. We gonna have to bring them to speed. So we already what is it? 12 minutes in. So you gonna have to tell me. All right, so I got a question for you. So since we waiting, but I got a question on the topic. What makes marriage? So for the first question is, do you feel like somebody that has never been married can? Oh, there we go. Hold on, there we go.
You got me now?
Yes, sir. All right, there we go, guys. We got Chef. First, I know him personal, so I know I seen one of his little messages. I know him personally, so I can call him Chef Dave. Okay, guys. All right. Let's get that clear. All right. But this is Seafood King. Okay. Y'all address him as Seafood King. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, how was your day?
Oh man, it was great, man. I ain't do nothing today but supply run. Wednesdays is usually just supply running, and we at the fish market picking up the fish and stuff like that. Going over to South Street, Jersey City and stuff, just picking up. That's it. Getting ready for another week.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna dive in. You in here, so we're gonna dive right in. So the topic today is, can a person that's not married or never been married give advice about marriage on having a successful marriage? So we're gonna ask you. That's the first question. We got 4 questions after that, but that's the first question. So we want to know what you think about that.
They can't give advice. They can only give their opinion.
Okay, good.
Especially somebody who never been married. How can they advise anybody on something that they have never experienced? You can't tell me the rights and wrongs of a marriage if you never experienced it. Marriage and advice in marriage comes through experience. A person that's single that never been there, what do you got for me? That's like a person trying to tell you how to be a millionaire, but they ain't only got $1,000.
Yeah. Ooh,
how can you advise someone that you haven't achieved? And also, if they're divorced, I don't care if you was married 25 years and you're divorced, the only thing you can advise me about is how to have a successful divorce. If I take advice from a married couple, me and my wife been married 19 years. And if I take advice from a married person, I want that person to be married, first off, longer than me and still actively married. That's the only way you can give any advice. But then I also say it's an opinion because your faults, your triumphs, your highs, your lows, those are yours. That don't mean that I'm going to make the same mistakes or have the same triumphs, have the same highs and lows as you. So a lot of it has to go through experiencing what you experienced. You could tell me what you went through and your color could have been blue. Everything you went through was blue, but everything I've been through is black. So because it's different people, I'll only say you can give an opinion, advice. If you can give successful advice, be married and have a successful marriage existing, but it don't guarantee it's going to help.
Okay. You have anything to say about that, T?
Well, I agree. I
Okay.
agree.
Okay.
Mostly everything he said, I agree. I don't think there was anything I would disagree in. I think that people do have a tendency to try to give guidance as far as like their advice, which can be like, just try to stick in, and that's just advice. The person that's going through it will know better of what to do, especially if they're trying to get advice or guidance from somebody that's single. Somebody that doesn't have the experience is you really can't trust everything that they say, at least, because it does help to have experience. It's unfortunate that we judge it that way because sometimes good advice can come through somebody that has never experienced. Sometimes I'll give it that, because I believe that God will talk to people through people that have never, experienced, but that doesn't happen all the time, and for us, it feels better to know that there's somebody that's gone through it. Now, the divorce part, I thought that was interesting. I've been divorced and I still could give good advice to a married couple because my divorce was, intimate for me. It had nothing to do with the married couple, but I know what married life is. If it wasn't successful or not, it's just the fact that if you believe in love and a successful marriage, then you can still give good advice if you've been married before and it didn't work out, because everybody's circumstances are different. You never know why a person separated or got divorced. So I wouldn't just that's the one thing I would probably, give a little bit of lenience is, even if they were divorced, I would have a little bit more of an open ear to at least hear them than I would for somebody that's never been married.
So you would be open up to listen to their opinion. That's about it.
Yeah. And it's more because I look at them as they've had experience in a marriage. At least I could say that much. But for somebody that's never been married, I really probably wouldn't, give it too much weight.
So, but yeah, that's what he was saying. Excuse me. Opinion, right. Basically, because at the end of the day, someone that's not successful, right? And I was making that noise about the $1 million, right? I said the same thing with somebody else. I don't remember who I said this to. I said, listen, how can you tell me how to be a millionaire? You don't even have 50,000 in the bank. Hey, we can't even talk about making money because you don't have that type of money in the bank. So, okay, how can you tell me how to get to that level if you don't even have, let's just say 20,000 in the bank? You got to show me that you are able to do that and save money and make money. And now look, this is how I got to this point. But you don't even have that to show. How can you begin to tell me that, right? All right. Let me go. Here's another question for you. Chef, what makes marriage important?
Say that again.
What makes marriage important on every level? So anything you could think about on just that. So it may seem like a broad question, but I'm speaking to you. So what makes marriage important?
For me, what makes my marriage important is the companionship. Mm-hmm. We are all here to experience a journey, in this thing called life. And the best part of my marriage, even when we argue, when we're not, whether we're on vacation, you know, it's just to have somebody right there with me to experience, you know, life with. That's to me, that's more important, you know, than having a great sex, a lot of money, a big old house and stuff like that. You know, we could be in a 1-bedroom apartment and be so happy, just have so much love with one another because we have somebody to share space and time with. You know, for me, that's the most important. That's the most important thing in marriage is having to share space and time with somebody that you can honestly and genuinely get along with. You know, because you know, we're men and women. You know, we see things different. You know, and sometimes, like, I'm an Aries and my wife is a Gemini. My approach on everything is always my way or the highway. I'm blazed with fire. I go straight ahead. But then there's a lot of times when whatever the situation we're dealing with, you know, my attitude, my personality, my way of doing things is not the way it needs to be done. I need her. She's more calculated. She's more patient. She know how to see things through. I'm very I rush with things. I try to get it done and conquer it real fast. You know, when she tends to take her time and tend to get all the essence out of a situation, you know, and sometimes her way of doing things is the best way. So to have that in my life, that's like an extra arsenal in my weaponry of marriage, you know, because I got me. I need to deal with things with my fire, and then I have her with the cool wind and the way she need to deal with things. So companionship will be my most important thing.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now, so Tanique, you have anything you want to share?
I'm not married, so I will not.
Okay. Why do you think marriage is not really encouraged in this time and age?
Mm,
Wow. All right, you go first on that, sis.
Um, I think that I've looked at marriage uh, differently than a lot of people. So what I'm saying is my opinion. I've always seen marriage as companionship and partnership with somebody that you want to, make and create. But I've always looked at it as a business aspect. Um, I've always seen marriage as something that is more business for our society, and it's because of the way our laws are created. This is not for true love. So if you are a religious person, yes, you can have that. But if you're not a religious person, or you didn't grow up in it, it's hard to keep a marriage going. So it's hard for me to answer this question, being the way that I've always felt about marriage. Because you can be in a relationship with a partner for years, 20 years, and never get married. And I have many friends that have done this, and they still live together. They still have a relationship, but they've never been married, and they don't want to. And I think that that's a fear of it possibly changing, because once you put a ring on it, it's like you hear people say your whole relationship changes, and I kind of agree with it. I don't know why. I don't understand it. I do see it as a business more aspect than a relationship, as far as a person having commitment with a person for the rest of their life, because marriage is not the same like it used to be for our parents. Our parents and our grandparents saw marriage as totally different than what we see it as today. And it's probably because of the mindset of a people like me who look at marriage as business. I have not fell in love, where I am so ready to get married and do those type of things and have somebody for the rest of my life. And I think that is changing. Like, a lot of people like me are experiencing that type of life. You guys are married and you have your partner, but there are people that cannot really take a partner every day, living with them all the time. There are people that cannot see themselves being with somebody all the time, or, wanting to commit themselves to just one person. There's a lot of people like that. You guys in the bubble that you have, the marriage life. But outside of that, there are totally different people like me who don't see marriage as, truly the union that it's supposed to be. And you don't find people like you guys, I'll say you guys, that are men out there, or even women, everybody, okay, that are like the mindset of you guys. Now, you would have to go into a church or go into some type of community that people are doing, beneficial things for themselves. I think that that's possible. I'm not saying go to the club. That's not what I'm talking about. But things that you learn from, or spiritual things like that. That's possible. You can find your soulmate or your person that you want to be with. But the point is, I think that people like me are changing the outlook of marriage because of my type of mindset. There's a lot of people like me that don't want to get married. They are possibly afraid. I don't see me as being afraid. I see me as being tired. Like, I ain't trying no more. That's how I feel. It's not anything else, because I'm too old to feel like I'm gonna be forever, gonna be in a relationship forever where I'm so head over heels in love. I want to get married. That I don't have that no more. But I have a relationship with people where I can be with you for a very long time. I don't need to get married to you, because that's assets parts. I feel like there's going to be a business part aspect to it. And I don't want that. I'm too old for it. I have children that are older. So my mindset is totally different. And there are a lot of people that think like me, or have their own personal journey that they could explain it the way I'm saying. Now, y'all can sit up here and think I'm hurting all that. That's not the case, okay? I'm living my best life as a single woman. I love it. And I love the fact that I have my single life. I don't want to sit up here and say I want to be with somebody for the rest of my life. That's not my talk. That's not my walk right now. I'm enjoying my life. It's my time. So that's why I'm saying, don't look at it that way. Please, please don't. This is not about hurt or anything. There are people out there who legitimately do not want to get married. And you agree, because a lot of people aren't.
Dave, once again, see, I know you wanted to say, I can see it all.
No, you know what? I completely understand, where Tamika is coming from, because Tamika, you're speaking from the second Tamika. The first Tamika that was married before, see, she wanted the marriage and everything, wanted everything that comes with it, but sometimes when things don't go right, we become a whole new person. We have a whole different outlook, because this is my second marriage. I got married early. I was about 21 or 22. Mm-hmm. And
22.
It lasted only 2 years, because for every reason that was wrong was in that marriage. We got married for every wrong reason, and it wasn't love filled. It wasn't for that companionship. It was just so we could stop cheating on one another, so we could stop breaking up, and for a while after that, I dated a whole lot of women. I had other relationships and things like that. I wasn't dreaming or even thinking of getting married. I even had a child in between then, and his mom, I wasn't even interested in marrying her, and it all depends on, what you went through, who your second, who you evolve into after, a marriage went bad. And me, when I met my wife, let me tell y'all, I wasn't even expecting it. I didn't even speak to her. She worked for Newark Public Schools at a elementary school in Newark. And I was sitting in my truck picking up another woman's son for her. And I'm sitting in my truck and I look and I see this security guard with this long, pretty hair come out. And I'm looking at her from a distance. And something just spoke to me and said, that's going to be your wife. I never met her. I never seen her. That's going to be your wife. So as I'm picking up this female friend of mine, son, and I'll say a month later, that's when I finally, spoke to her, said something to her. This was October of 2004. Well, we couldn't get it off the ground at all. I stood her up twice. There was a lot of things in between, it just wouldn't gel together. But on January 9th, 2005, she called me out of the blue. She said, I know you still got my number. You know who this is. And we never got off the phone from 2005. We married 3 months later. I didn't know much of anything about her except I was so in love with her, and she gave me something that no other woman has ever gave me. She gave me mental stimulation. We talked for hours and hours, and we still do it to today. We go to sleep talking to each other. We just talk and communicate. And I mean, we just talking, we're not talking about gossip, and we're not talking about, hip hop and entertainment. We talking about things about God. We talking about things about life. The shift in life that I have made, I have evolved. The 23rd make my seventh evolution in life. Every 7 years, we become somebody different. We talk like we just been knowing each other for a month, and that's how I know, when I became my second Dave, when I evolved to the new person, I was able to receive that voice that told me that's going to be, your wife. Same thing for you, Tamika. Maybe it just didn't come yet. But as long as you're still on this earth, as long as you're still breathing, that possibility is always still there. But the question you asked, Dennis, remind me that question again. What was that question you asked on this?
It said, why do you think marriage is not really encouraged in this time of age?
In this time of age, because people look at marriage. And then you got to go back into to their history, to their family history. First off, a marriage is always something you see before your mother and your father, your grandmother, your grandfather. If you're in one of those families where there is no married couples, then 9 times out of 10 you get married or having a successful marriage, or even being able to see what a wife looks like, or being able for a male to see what a husband looks like, and how a man acts with a woman, genuinely, not a dude, because we go by, us young men, we go by what we see. When we young, we go by what we see. So if there's nobody in the family promoting that, then folks not going to go for it. What's being promoted today, not saying promoted, but what we see is single parents. We see that. And that's what you have a lot of women that come up today that will have a child by a man and tell him to his face, you ain't got to do nothing. And she'll get out there, grind, do what she got to do, and take care of her child and herself, just because she's enamored that way, because society and life made her that way. I could be a strong mother. I could raise this daughter, raise this son. Do you realize that's a strike to us men, that our female counterparts are saying that they can make men out of these men and we can't? And these dudes out here are just okay with it. But it all got everything to do with what a person see, and some folk feel like they'll never get married. It's too many problems. They look at the other problems that other people have. But I mean, like you said before, Tamika, marriage is like a business. Sometimes it is like a business. For me and mine, and in my opinion, for what give us our success and what we have every year, is that we just genuinely love each other. We put the love first, before life, before money, before all that. We put the love first. We put how the other one is feeling before anything else. We communicate, and that's been something hard for me in the early years, because I always kept everything inside of me and just hold it. When it finally it come out wrong. She has taught me not to do that, and that's a new arsenal in my weaponry of marriage. I can communicate with my wife, and nobody taught me this. I didn't have nobody in front of me to show me what a successful marriage was like. Mom was a crackhead, dad was a crackhead. So, this was just life experience. And what did I need? I needed a companion.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
And that's exactly it. And you got the companion. You even heard the words of you going to marry her.
Mm-hmm.
that right there lets you know it's blessed. I mean, I
Yeah.
believe in that wholeheartedly. That has not happened for me. I think maybe I could be blocking it because of my own mindset and my opinions about my past. That is possible. But I do have a desire for companionship in that way. But the marriage part is very tricky because of what can go underneath it, the business part, things about your money and your assets and stuff like that. And when you get into a union with someone, you have to really trust that person and know that, you're going into it with an open heart and knowing that you can, be okay, you're safe.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's difficult. It's difficult, especially when you're older. When you're younger, I think that is easier. This is my opinion. But when you're older, you've had your own life experience. You're having somebody to come into your relation or your life as a relationship. It can be very tricky.
Hmm.
Tani and Dave, I was listening to you guys, so I was waiting for you guys to finish. So just to piggyback on what y'all was saying about nowadays, it's like this. People don't want first, you got to build a trust. That's number one in a relationship. So that foundation, if you're able to trust that person, now you go to the next level. Marriage is something that based on solely, for me is trust. You got to be able to trust because guess what? Like you said, you look what you're doing. If you have children, you got to be able to trust that person around your children. That's number one. Number
Hmm.
two, you got to be able to trust them with your money. Yes, you go every day. Look, you go every day, you go to work, right? They have access to everything that's yours personally, and it becomes ours, right? So you got to be able to trust them 100%. And that's where the tricky part is, why I feel like why people don't want to be in marriage. And then you got sacrifice. Sacrifice is something detrimental to a marriage. You have to sacrifice your desires for your spouse. You know what I'm saying? If they want to do something, you got to support them. And sometimes it requires you to sacrifice yours so they can gain. And then guess what? If they love you that much, they'll do the same thing for you. Once they get there, they'll say, okay, babe, it may take 5 years, it may take 7 years, but guess what? That person that excelled, they're going to say the same thing for you. If that person really loves you, they'll say, okay, babe, you waited 10 years for me to be the best nurse that I can be, and you wanted to be you want I'm just saying this. You wanted to be a rapper. Now they're supporting you. They're saying, you know what? Let's do whatever it takes. They're helping you. They're putting their money up. They're doing whatever it takes so you can be the best you can be. You know what I'm saying? And those two things, trust and sacrifice, a lot of people don't want to do that. They think about themselves. They think about, what they can get in this time and age. That think about what they can get, especially on both ends, man and woman. Because I know when I was searching for my wife, right? I'm like, okay, my wife got to have a car. Like my current, if I was looking for a wife, when I was, right, she had to have a car. You know why? Because guess what? I wanted her to be independent. I didn't want her always needing me to come pick her up or needing me to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? I'm just using that for an aspect because that's what I wanted her to be able to say, you know what? I'll meet you here. Let's meet up here. Or I'll pick you up. You see what I'm saying? It was balance for me. That was just one aspect of it I'm looking at. It was balance. See what I'm saying? So when you trust somebody like Dave and myself, when you got that trust and sometimes you got to test the person. If you're looking to be married, you got to test that person. You got to see how much you can trust them, and you don't have to tell them. You gotta test them because guess what? If you get into a marriage with a person you can't trust, I promise you're gonna be well hurt. You gotta trust them because listen, me and Dave, you know what I'm saying? When I don't have to worry about I can trust my wife, you know what I'm saying? I when I first married her, I opened up everything to her. She opened everything to me. See, it wasn't oh no, you can't. This is my money. No. Guess what? I know her bank account number, information. She know mine, and guess what? It's open, and that's key. I said these are the two things I feel like is key: trust and sacrifice. You got to be able to do those two things. Everything else will come with them two things. Everything else will come if you're able to sacrifice a lot for your spouse, man or woman, and you can trust them, because trust is something you got to earn. That's nothing that you don't give that away. You got to earn that. You understand what I'm saying? You got to earn it. So those two things you have, you can have a successful relationship and a marriage. A relationship is much different than a marriage, because yes, it is like a business aspect. You know what I'm saying? It is. You know what I'm saying? But in the business, if you're going to be in a business with someone and it's your wife, guess what? You got to be able to trust them too with the business. You got to be able listen. If they going out and making money, right? You know they're not gonna put it in their pocket. They said, you know what? This is for the greater good. It's for us, not me. It's for us.
Mm-hmm.
So you give up the eyes, and now it's us. It's we. You know what I'm saying? We always talk about team. There ain't no I in team. You got what I'm saying? It's so important to have those two things. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I feel like that a lot of marriages, a lot of people not pushing marriage because they don't want to trust, they don't want to sacrifice. They like, what can I get? Oh, he got a nice car, he got money in the bank. Oh, yeah, he could take care of me. But can you take care of him? You know what I'm saying? Can you do the same? If you want him to do all these things, can you do that?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have, it's gotta be some type of balance. You know what I'm saying? And we talked earlier, we talked before, marriage is a balance thing. I didn't say equal, balance. It had to have some balance. And when it's balanced, that means, guess what? We can walk together, hold their hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? Not me walking in front of you, walking hand to hand. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Some people say, oh, the man is the head of the household. Guess what? When I walk in authority and saying that I'm the head of the household, but guess what? I never make my wife feel less of a person. I tell her, this is our journey. We're going to walk together. I don't have to say I'm going to lead you, because she already knows that. So guess what? When we walk, what man want to walk in front of his woman when they walking together? They walk side to side. They hold hands, if anything. They may be hugging. That's how they walk. That's their journey together. So we experience everything together. I don't want to look, and she's here. She's downstairs. And she'll tell you this. Look, when I go outside of the state, I really don't like going out without her. Sometimes I go with the fellas, but I want her, because guess what? I want everything I experience outside of my friends, my fellow friends. I want to experience with my wife. You understand what I'm saying? We go out of the country, I want to do it with her. I don't want to do it with nobody else. I don't go out of the country with my fellow friends. I don't want to do that. That doesn't excite me. You know what I'm saying? Going outside the country is with my wife only. You know what I'm saying? Going out with my friends, that's one thing. But I don't need that experience. I want to experience the rest of my life with my wife. Like you said, my counterparts. You know what I'm saying? And to go back to that question, like I was saying, is that those two things. You know what I'm saying? So now, you guys got any remarks you want to talk about that I made?
I like what you said about the trust and sacrifice. I just know, sometimes that comes a little, people are afraid of that because it comes a little later in we trust people like when we first meet them. You remember when you first fall in love, you don't think this person ever do anything to you that hurt you. You in love, they in love, that beginning stage, but when it comes to the trust and sacrifice, it's when you get into the meat and potatoes of a relationship or marriage, when challenges come about, then you can see, is this person really down with me? Will they sacrifice, the way they've been living? Will they stop doing this, stop doing that, for us to be happy? Can I trust them with this, with that? For me, it took a while. When I first got with my wife, I was a mess. I was still a mess. I was still coming into myself. I was 29 when I married her. When I hit 30, man, listen, I felt like it was things I missed in my 20s and things like that. And it was rough, but she stayed there with me, and it paid off dividends because I retired my wife off her job after she was there 20 years. She don't have to work no more. Opened up this business and she works with me. We're together 24/7 and we love it. We're not tired of each other. Matter of fact, when we not, if I go pick up the supplies and she not with me, if I'm going for 8 hours out the house, because sometimes that's how long we be out, I'll come home, I think I had separation anxiety. I missed you or whatever like that, or I'm serious. That's how we both be. Because that here's the thing. If you can't make your spouse your best friend, then there's no need to even have a spouse. There's no need. If they can't be your best friend, if you can't trust them with your secret flaws, things, that nobody else know, and you don't have to worry about them going behind your back. If your person can't be that, then I'm sorry. Even if she have a best female friend, shouldn't be greater than a spouse. If he has a best male friend, it shouldn't be greater than his spouse.
Right.
That's where the trust and sacrifice come in right there. I trust you. I sacrifice for you. You are my best friend, and I know you won't do me wrong. I could be blind, and I know that I won't be living in an empty house, and you telling me it's full, baby.
Look, man, that's a fact, man. So
yeah.
we're gonna go to the next question. What's the most important ground to a successful marriage?
What's the most important ground to a successful marriage?
Yes.
Genuine love. See, this is a whole nother avenue. But today, the way the world is, that real love don't exist. When people use that word love today, or they try to show it, they use it and show it so loosely. Like it's the love that they show today is a lie. Okay. Because especially when somebody could straight do you wrong, then how can you tell me, how can you pour your whole heart out to me with these matters of love, but then you turn around and you go do something so detriment to the point where I have to walk away from you. Not I need to, not I want to, I have to. Because at the end of the day, we're individuals and we're still on this life journey. Sometimes the love that people show is just so disrespectful and just so tainted. It's filled with so many different things from the world and different aspects of this person and that person, that a person don't know how to give real love or give true love of themselves. Number one is this. I'm sorry. I'm not a religious fanatic, though I am an ordained minister. I'm not a religious fanatic or nothing like that. If you don't have a healthy fear and a love of God first, sorry, it's not going to be that successful as you're going to want it as it should be.
Now, let me ask you a question, Dave. Mm-hmm. When you say for the love of God, do you see that as loving yourself?
Loving yourself, yes. And also loving the instructions. You don't have to read the Bible to know right from wrong, because you can hear the voice of God, because anytime you're involved in anything, the first thing you hear is always something good. It's always telling you not to do something bad. It's always the second thoughts. That's when the thoughts, ideas, and suggestions of what's evil come in. But the first thought, if you can hear that voice and just use your free will and do what's right, so that's what I mean when I say the love of God, the love of just doing what's right. I got my wife's life in my hands. So if my love is tainted, I'm going to go out there and be with this woman, that woman, that woman. I done took this woman off her job. I done took everything away to show her that I'm this type of man and I love you so much that I'm going to create this world and empire that you'll be able to feed off of, and you don't have to worry about ever having your own independence. I will make sure you're well taken care of. And I can't do that if I don't have the respect for God, or if I don't love him or have a healthy fear of him, because that's what's going to keep me right. That's what's going to keep me on the right path. That right there. It ain't about how pretty she is. Not about for me, it's not about how pretty she is or what she got or what type of clothes or labels she wear. It's not about that. For me, it's about, first off, me being the best me that I can be in order for me to be the best husband for her. And the only way I can be the best me is I have to have that fear and love and respect for God.
Well said. Well said. I would say the same thing. You know, for me, that's the foundation for me and my relationship and my marriage is the love of God. Is because as for simple fact is that, like you said, some people don't believe in God, and we respect that and wholeheartedly. But God is in everybody, and what
Exactly.
is
Yep.
in He's in everybody, and what happens is, like you said, there was times where you have to make a decision, and that voice will tell you that's not. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And we have a choice to
Hmm.
whether we're going to do it or we're not going to do
Hmm.
it. And anything that goes against the grain, you know what I'm saying, you have to look at it. Okay, this might not be right for me. You know what I'm saying? And I've lived it. I've been there. I've done it, and I'm successful. I've been here now, and I'm here now. Right? I'll give you an example of what I mean by going against the grain. When I was 19 years old, my mother said, "Don't mess with this specific woman." She said, "Don't mess with her because these are the things that's going to happen." I did not listen. I had a child with the woman. Everything that my mother said was going to happen happened.
Hmm.
Everything. There was nothing she said that was not going to happen. And guess what? At that particular time, God used my mother to tell me this is what's going to happen if you do not listen. These are the things that's going to happen, and that's life. That's if you are a believer. You know, we have to respect whatever you believe in. But if you believe in God and you, like you said, fear God, God would always lead you in a path to righteousness. He will always lead you in the path that He desires for you. That's made out for you. There is a destiny that's made out for us. We have the ability to walk in it or walk out of it.
Hmm.
It's made for us. And what is made for us, we can walk in it or we can walk away from it. You know what I'm saying? And still we gotta suffer. There is nowhere in the Bible where it says we're not going to suffer, we're
Hmm.
not going to go through things to make us stronger. Yes, it's going, those things are going to happen. But you have to know, like you said, free will. You got to be able to say, okay, I don't want to go through this. You know what I'm saying? Let me figure this out. Oh, God will give you the answer. And for me, the foundation is Christ. It is believing in God and knowing that, because I, even in my midst of my doing all my dirt and all the wrong, you know what I'm saying, He stayed right there with me, and I was able to be in a place I am right now, talking to you guys, talking to multiple people, encouraging them. Today I was just at the health store talking to two young men. They older than me. I call them young men. They like 67 and 60, right? Speaking to them, I encourage them. They subscribe today, and they're gonna be looking. I got told them. I said, listen, this is what this platform is to encourage, uplift people, not to tear people down. And that's another thing. I'm sitting here talking. That's another reason why marriage is not even pushed in the world, because they all you look at some of the things that's going on. Black on black. They're tearing each other down for money. They're talking about, yes, there are things that certain people are doing, but they still, at the end of the day, they pulling us down, pulling one another down. They're not encouraging each other. You know what I'm saying? They got their own little clique, their own little circle. They talk about people, and then the young generation see that, and because they see that, they don't see love, they don't see happiness, they don't see healthy marriages. So guess what? Like you said earlier, you both said it. Like you said, it's what we see. You know what I'm saying? If we don't see positivity, how can somebody be positive? All they see is negative. All they see is sex, women dressing all prerogative. How can we even get the message across to our young generation when the women, they not even doing that? Or not, I won't say just the women, the men don't see positivity, don't see where our role models at. Like we and you had growing up. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? It don't have that no more. You know what I'm saying? The reason why, because everybody want that almighty dollar. They'll do whatever it takes to get that dollar. And guess what? And it's true. When you talk about religion, guess what? Nobody really want to talk about that. When you talk about politics, they don't want to talk about that because they don't go hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? It's all opinion. In religion is opinion based, a politics opinion based. So you have the right to your own opinion. And then guess what? When they don't go what they believe, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about positivity. They want to talk about negative, everything that's negative. So that's what the world see right now. The young generation, that's what they see. Use with guns and shooting and chains and gold teeth in their mouth and how much money they showing on a podcast, if not podcast, the videos. So that's what they see. So guess what? That's what they think that's a part of life. They think that's real. It's not real. A lot of that stuff it's a lot of stuff that's hidden that people don't know about. You know what I'm saying? That they hide it, and they think that image is real. It's not. Love is real. Love is something that is out there. You have to find it. You know what I'm saying?
But let me say something.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Come a little closer. I can't see you. I want to see you. Come a little closer. Yeah. Cut that light on. I can't see. There we go. Cut that light on.
In mind that marriage is not meant for everybody. Marriage is a beautiful thing, but there are people that are not meant to be married. They have a purpose to do something for within themselves, for another higher purpose, for other people, possibly for society, for whatever. But it is for some people to be married, and some people are not meant to be married. And then that still is a beautiful thing, and we have to keep that in mind, because yes, marriage is beautiful, but also when you make a commitment to God, which you say love God, God is within each and every one of us. So when we are able to walk on earth with God inside of us, loving ourselves, and we are satisfied, that's beautiful too. And marriage is beautiful, but we also, I feel like people are learning to know thyself. People are really waking up, because this is the time of knowing who you really are. And knowing who you really are means that you are getting to know Spirit of God, the truth of, why you were brought on this earth. And a lot of times, people aren't meant to, be on earth to be married with someone. A lot of people are like that.
They choose not to be married.
It's not that. Look at it like this. He had a voice. He heard it, and he has a beautiful relationship. That does not happen to everybody. That does not happen to many people, honestly. It only happens to a small amount of people that are touched that way. There's a touching in a life that can be beautifully opened up into a beautiful flower or a butterfly or whatever you want to call it. The manifestation can be given to certain people, but there are some people that don't get that voice, and they're not meant to have the voice. They're meant to do something else in their life, which is still beautiful. We look at marriage, and we also have to look at the other side of marriage and still have a appreciation for the fact that there are single people who live in this world that are still giving and loving their partnerships with others that are not, living with them, or they have, let's say it's a mother and daughter relationship. There's a lot of strong mother-daughter relationships, or mother-father, or let's say a neighbor. The point is that it still can be a beautiful companionship, even if it's not marriage.
Hold on, wait. Hold on, wait. Let me. I gotta ask you a question. Wait a minute. Wait. You said relationship?
Yeah, I mean, okay. Well, I'm talking about.
You could be in a relationship. Look, if you could be in a relationship, you choose not to be married. If you were in a relationship, you choose not to be married.
Sometimes you're not. You don't get a choice of being a girl or a boy when you came in this earth, and sometimes that happens in every aspect of your life.
Hold on, wait.
Okay, everybody wants to be a millionaire, right? Everybody wants to be wealthy. Everybody does, most of us. And it's our choice that we are not wealthy, right? There are some people that are sitting up here struggling to make ends meet, and yet they have the ambition to be wealthy. So they got to work hard, or pray on it, and or go out there and get some being a lottery ticket, hoping and praying. But it's not meant for everybody to be wealthy. It's not always meant for everybody to have the same thing.
That's
That's
true.
all I'm saying.
That's true. That's 100% true. Because a lot of people can't handle the power and responsibility that comes with, maybe having wealth and things like that. The whole spiritual battle, it's a God, the enemy. That's exactly what it is. And on this earth, the enemy is winning because everybody, the world today, everybody is having that moment that Jesus had when he was Jesus before Christ. He was Jesus, and the devil came to him on a mountain and tempted him twice. It's so many alternatives, so many second opinions, so many other routes that people are given today in today's world. So if you had to put it in a structure, like this is what a family is, you be married, you have children, you buy a house, you have a car and everything. Folk don't see that no more because the world, the enemy done opened up so many different alternatives for people to choose from. You got a lot of women that'll rather be an Instagram model and get money and have guys as sponsors before they want to be one man's wife. Why would I want to be one man's wife? Or even guys, why would I want to be one woman's husband when there's like 10 girls over there and they all vying for my attention? It's so many different, and the point, because nobody is on the same page anymore, we're not being taught those things anymore. So we're going to go with what's popular in the world, and marriage is not it. What's crazy is this: every time the world gives us an alternative from what God gives us, why the world's is never as great as God's gift is. Never. I don't even care if I'm a person, I'm making, let's say, $75,000 a year. This is a gift from God that he's given me compared to a person who allowed the world, the enemy, to entice him to take this $1 million. Here it is. I'm surviving off 75 and I am enjoying life. I have peace. This person got $1 million and they have nothing but chaos. Nothing is going right for them because so many different alternatives for people to take in the world today. And those alternatives look much greater. And how I know this? Because in the word, the devil offered Jesus. He told him, look over the horizon. You see all that? You can have all that. He looked at him. He saw that Jesus was famished. When you famished and you starving, what you need? Something to eat. He wanted to give him something to eat. Turn that rock and that to bread and water. Listen, the alternatives always come. It always seem greater, but it's not. And that's what it is. The world offers so many great alternatives. People done fell in love with them. And that's why on this earth, the enemy is winning.
They've been tricked.
They've been tricked.
They've been bamboozled.
Yes, indeed.
Big time.
But let me say my last point. I don't remember which book of the Bible, but there was a part that says something about marriage and something about it is difficult being married or something. One of the apostles said it, or one of them said about it's being difficult. It's you rather something like it's better to not be married. That's what I remember. Because marriage can be difficult and it's not for everybody. I'm gonna find it as y'all talk.
Paul said that. You're right. Paul did say that. It's but it's better to marry than burn with passion. There's two parts to that.
Burn with passion, yes. Burn
It's
with
better,
passion is
which means if you want to be out there, you want to be fornicating, and this is just okay. People do what they want, but according to the word, instead of you being out there, and if you want to sleep with this person, sleep with that person, do it right. It's better to marry than burn with passion. I can't tell you that when we leave this earth, what the judgment will be like. If there is a judgment, what it will be like. But according to the word, and if that's how people believe, then it's better for you to be married than to burn with passion.
What is the interpretation of burn with passion to you?
Burn with passion means your fornication.
Interesting.
Why say it's interesting?
What do you think another interpretation of burn with? It's better to marry than to burn with passion.
Burn with passion could be anything. I mean, honestly, I mean, you said it as
But
only.
what is a passion that's sinful to God?
Okay,
What is a burning passion that's sinful towards God?
did it say anything about sin? That's the thing. That's why it's burned with passion. It's all it said. And that's why I'm listening to it as burn with passion. I did not hear sin. So that's why I asked you, you know, when you're saying you read it as what it says, it does not say anything about sin. It says burn with passion. So that's why I had to, you know, hear what it was for you. But for me, when I hear that, burn with passion, it means like you
Hold on, dude.
have
Oh, that.
you have a strong desire that is not fulfilled, you know.
Okay.
And wait, let me say this last thing.
No, good.
It is, and when we're talking about it being married, okay, the married part is burning for the passion of marriage. That's what I hear it as. Not
Okay.
anything about sin.
Okay. So you say you didn't hear sin, right? When he says burning with passion, listen, anything that's against God and you have a passion for it, that's what he's talking about. So let's say if you have a passion, anything burning in passion, that's so when you break down the parable, burning with passion. Okay, listen, you want to find it?
I'm listening, but I'm looking.
Okay, so look, so listen. If you, let's just say, look, you indulge in drinking all the time. You indulge. We just use that. I give you that. So you want to say that you got a passion. You love it. You love drinking. You will burn. Basically, you will die with that. If you like having sex with multiple people, that's you love. There are women out here that love having sex with multiple men. Just go out one night, just have sex. That's a passion they have. Passion is something that you love. You love it. So because you love that, and it's not of God, and that's why marriage is the same thing. It's better to be married because it's talking about fornicating. But I use drinking. If you overindulging, you always drinking and getting drunk. Guess what? You have a passion for that. What happened? What that?
That's me. I don't know what happened.
Don't
worry. Double. Don't worry. I got it. I took it off.
I'm still here, right?
Yeah, you're still here. It did double. I guess that was something else. But that's what it's talking about when you talk about that, because that's listen. Anything, you burning in passion. You got a passion for something that's not of God. It could be, and when it is sin. It could be anything of sin. You know what I'm saying? You lying, but see, you gotta be real with yourself. Not you. I'm not saying person got to be real with themselves, because guess what? A person who's constantly lying there's other things that come with lying. If you lie,
the answer. I sound like I'm echoing.
Yeah,
you got the other one. You got to take down. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Wait. Let me see. All right. Let me see. All right. Go ahead, D. No, the other one that popped up. I don't know what happened. Okay, so one of the viewers said, "What we talking about?" All right, so let me give you insight on what we talking about, young man. This is Jonathan L. Love. It says, "Can a person that's not married or never been married, give advice about marriage?" Oh, I got you. Marriage on having a successful marriage. Hold on, D. Can you hear me?
I hear you. You hear me?
Yeah, there you go. You good?
I can't see you yet, though.
No, the other one that popped up, you got to go back to that one because the other one froze. So I don't know what happened. I can. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I'm pressing enter studio.
All right, no, hold on. All right, there
All right.
All right, so the other one.
Still,
can you hear me?
I hear you.
All right, there you go. So now you won't hear the echo.
I hear echo. Yeah.
You still hear? You still hear it?
No, it's off now.
Okay. All right. So we got a guest a person that came on. They wanted to know the topic. I said, can a person that's not married
or never been married give advice about marriage and on having a successful marriage? And we had a couple of questions. So, the one question was, what makes marriage important? Why do you think marriage is not really encouraged in this time and age? And what's the most important ground to a successful marriage? Those are some of the questions, Jonathan. So, but now what you about to say, Chef? You about to say something? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, for
The
the
answer.
for the parable of that particular text, all you gotta do is just read like 2 chapters before
Well,
up
this
until that point.
I want to read it to y'all. It says, to the unmarried and the widows, I say that it is good for them to remain single as I am, but they cannot exercise self-control. They should marry, for it is better to marry than to burn with passion.
Now, see,
Self-control.
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 Self-control. That means when he says self-control, that means they're
Like a
specifically.
burn with passion.
But look, they're specifically saying, look, that's why it said widow and what was the other one? Widow and what?
Unmarried, single, something.
But that's why it's pertaining to
Widows.
widows. It's pertaining because if you cannot withstand from having sex, it's better to be married. But if you can say that. You can be single.
And it was easy for Paul to do it. He was a eunuch.
Yeah,
He was castrated.
right.
You didn't know that, Dennis?
No, I said no. I was reading. Hold on. It says, I don't believe. No, it's a person made a comment. He said, I don't believe you can give advice if you haven't been married. You have no idea what marriage is, and you can't go based off of what your mama and father had in their marriage. Will be different. Okay, that's about right. Now, what you say, Chef?
I said Paul was a eunuch. He
Castrated?
was mhm. Paul was a eunuch, so he didn't have no passion. That's why it was easy for him not to be married.
Okay.
And he was a soldier first, right?
Yes.
Yes, he was. I didn't know that, but
A Roman soldier, killer of Christian.
Yes,
He hunted them down.
Yep. He killed them.
His name was it Paul? His name wasn't Paul first. He had another name.
Saul.
Yep.
Look, somebody said sex is deeper than what people make it. Of course. Listen, sex is
that's one of those avenues.
Yeah.
That's one of those avenues I was telling you about. The world offer us so many different avenues from what's important.
Yeah. And look, some people don't even notice that you have sex with a person that you're not married with. It's soul ties to that. You know that? Did y'all know that? Hey, did you know that today?
Say it again.
Soul ties.
Oh,
you know that
when you said you have sex with soul ties, yes.
With a person that you're not married to.
Right.
Listen, trust me, it's real. Those you can say what you want. Those demons that's inside that person jump right on you. But you better believe it. Sometimes you wake up and you're mad and you're frustrated and you can't stand this person. You got to think about that person you messing around with.
Yeah.
And look, and just think about this. Just think about this. Look at all the people in the world, right? Sleeping with different people and how they be reacting. How they act.
Mm-hmm.
Think about how they act. Yo, some of these people, they get up in the morning. They not even thankful that they woke up. They just get up in a rage and ready to do whatever. Just be in chaos and toxicity. They just like, oh, what up? Men and women. They don't care. They like, yo, I'm going to get up this morning, make me something to eat, and go out here and see who I can mess around with.
Yeah.
And I ain't talking about sexual. I'm just saying just mess around. Just get on somebody's nerves. That's what's going on in the world right now. And that's why it's so much turmoil. These are the things that happen in this world, in this time and age. And like you said, and that's the biggest number one seller right now, sex.
you know, and I had an opportunity to meet a young lady, right? And she's a promoter, right? And man, like I gave her my credentials and everything. I want to encourage her. She's 21 because guess what? It's bigger than just that. And what she's a promoter for, different things. And I seen her page and I was like, yo, see, I want to be encouraging her, let her know that you worth more than just that. Because I'm not gonna expose that, but if you gotta see it, you worth more than just that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't just gotta do that. You listen, you can use this right here. You got listen, this is ways to do it. Everybody is out here trying to make money, you know what I'm saying? But you can make an honest living with promoting people, promoting different things. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to dress prerogative to sell your business. You know what I'm saying? And that's for these young generations. And I got young children. Well, they grown now, but they minds. You know what I'm saying? And listen, sometimes I gotta check my daughter. Like, yo, what you doing? Why you dressed like that? I gotta be like, hey, yo, I can't make her do what she want to do. I mean, what I want her to do, she grown, but I'll be like, yo, what you want? And I tell her, I'll be honest with her. I said, look, you can't. That's inviting. That's too much. You gotta change that up. You know what I'm saying? And that's my daughter. This is my child. You feel me? And I say, yo, you got to change that up. Because as a father, you got to think about you going out here dressed like that. What you telling the man? What is that about? You know what I'm saying? You got to listen. You could dress nice. I give you money. I make sure you got everything. You don't really got to ask a man for nothing because you got daddy. And so I preach that because that's what I want other women to know, that you could dress conservative and look sexy, because guess what? A man can still see your curves covered up. Am I lying, D?
You tell the truth.
You still hey, listen, if she got nice breasts, you still can see it covered up. She got a nice dress on, you still can see it. It's not like you can't see it, but see, that's what they pushing. That's why we don't have a lot of successful marriages. If you look at statistics and see what they say about marriage, it's low. It's low. Because like I said, nobody want to put the hard work in. Nobody want to do that. Yeah, like Titty said,
no,
it's business.
You're basically saying people is doing too much on the outside and not really doing the inside work to make change of their life.
Of course.
That's really what it is. Because everybody wants to look a certain way, wants to act a certain way, wants to be seen, wants to be recognized, wants the likes, so it's an outward thing, and it's not the way it should be.
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm. And look, and the ones, the people that are married and getting married, guess what? You also got to remember the people in your circle. That's important. You got to listen. This me and mine. I'm not hanging with people that's not married. My single friends, they married.
Well, sometimes you even got to watch the married ones too. That's why when me and my wife, when we make friends, they're always married, and we do it as a couple thing, right. Because you might have a married man out that you hanging out with, but he living like he's single.
Yeah. You know that's true. I think you got listen. Hey, look, we
trying to take you to the strip club. Like, man, I just want to go bowling, man. What you, man?
Nah, man. Hey, look, they want to set you up. They want. I tell. Look, I'm gonna keep it. I'm very transparent, so I don't lie. You know what I'm saying? I try not to as much as possible, right? So I said that, right? But I do have some single male friends, and I told them, I said, yo, listen, bro, nah. I said, when we go out, we going out for me and you, we chilling. That's it. All that, when you want to go out and talk to some other chicks, I'm out. I'm leaving. You know what I'm saying? I tell them when it's our time, it's our time. Because listen, I don't want to put myself in harm's way. I'm human. I can make mistakes, but I don't want to make those mistakes. So I don't put that. I don't even touch that, because if I make a mistake, guess what? All the people I'm talking to, everybody that I speak about God or whatever, they be like, man, get out of here. You fake.
And that's that fear that I was telling you about having of God, and that love of God, because I don't want to be caught in that situation. So I would rather not do it at all.
Yeah. Somebody said women don't save stuff
for the men nowadays. They advertise everything nowadays. You already said they advertise everything. And that's another thing. You know, man, listen, it's hard to find, and
We can't blame everything on the women.
no, not me. I
Because I'm talking about from that comment.
Okay.
Because, like Danae said, at her age, it's hard to have that right person step to her. It's a lot of bullcrap jokers coming about. So, what else do some of these single women have to do? So they out there trying to attract people the best way they can, which is showing their body or taking a lot of selfies on Instagram and stuff like that, hoping that they can find that right person, even though they digging in the wrong bin. You know, you can't be in the den of iniquity trying to find righteousness.
Right. You definitely can. You know what I'm saying? Look,
I think it could happen now.
What can happen?
God comes into the mud too now.
You're right. Because if two people down there, they both searching for the same thing. But I tell you one thing, it's going to be so hard to find each other.
It's a miracle that only God can do.
Hold on, wait a minute. You said God be in the mud.
Yeah.
God, what mud?
Jesus went and sat with the sick. He didn't sit with the Pharisees and the rich ones. He went with the prostitutes and the homeless and the sick ones.
But but hold on. You know why though, right?
Why?
That was a reason why that he went down there.
Yeah.
That was the reason why. And you said the Pharisees listen, he already knew their mindset and what they were doing. But the people down here was innocent, but they didn't have nothing because they were in bondage. So Jesus went down there to them. They was living like that because guess what? They wasn't royalty. They already had it up there, but God spoke to them. And guess what? When it was time to speak to Pharaoh, guess what? He sent his message to Pharaoh, right?
You missing it. You said Pharaoh now.
Pharaoh, right? Didn't God use Moses?
Oh, you went to the Old Testament. Okay.
Yeah. We talking about God, not Jesus.
Talking about Jesus.
Huh?
Jesus went to the prostitutes, to the homeless, to the sick. He went to them and he healed them. He talked to them. He hung out with them. He wasn't with the Pharisees and the Sadducees, who are the higher up that know the word, that look at themselves as being better than those type of prostitutes, down low people. Jesus went to those people and he was saving and talking to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, why?
And then you said why, but then you switched the story to Egypt.
I was referring to the same thing because guess what? When God used Moses, now Jesus came on the scene. The same thing. These people were in bondage, and Jesus came down to save them because the world was in turmoil when Jesus came. Right and wrong.
Right. God used Moses because he heard his people's cry.
Right.
They were all slaves.
Oh my goodness. Oh my. Hey, look, somebody said something. They said, so Jesus and God aren't the same person?
How?
No, they said, so Jesus and God aren't the same person.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Not.
Jesus is the Son of God.
That's right. God is God, the first and the source and the only. God is source. Light.
So you hear him. So they answer your question for you, big bro. What's up, Dip?
But of course, he's going to go with what he's been taught in church and things like that. The indoctrination is real, but because people don't know how to receive the data from the Bible. I still got that echo.
It's not up.
It might be up on my end.
Yeah, it might be on your end, but it's your other thing is still there. So I don't want to kick you out because it's telling me to. Let me see. Hold on. No, I can't do it. I can't do the other one. But
But
said,
my
okay.
whole point of this conversation, I'm glad that I was in it. I like the fact that both of you two are married, and I come in as a single person, and so I have to give y'all another perspective to understand. That's why
Mhm.
I basically am saying everything that I've said tonight, because it is true that it's okay that marriage is changing, and we know why. There's a lot of factors in our society, distractions of the truth, of getting towards the truth, as Dave has said, the truth of what we could actually have as a loving relationship with one another. That's not what we're getting nowadays. But
No, right. Mhm.
even though that's true that we do have that possibility for ourselves, there's the other side of, some people not being able to either hear it, or it's not meant for them to have that type of relationship in a marriage, or to have that unity in a marriage. And that is real. I think that it's not, I don't want to say to people that marriage is for everybody. That's not my talk. I will
That's
not
not.
say that.
Oh,
No,
you won't say that? All
no,
right.
it's not.
So
Marriage is
all
not
right.
meant for everybody.
I
That's all.
I now receive that, and I respect that. Now watch this though. The people that said marriage is not for everybody, right? So you're saying to me that they're supposed to be single for the rest of their life.
I mean, think about priests.
They can.
No,
Think about
no, D. That's what I'm saying. They can. So
no.
if they right, so they
There's
have to be
levels to it. So that
single for the rest of their life, and that if that's what they choose to do, yes. But
it's meant for
don't say,
them.
don't say that you are not meant to be married, right? But when you want to have sex
That's
with
the
somebody,
passion. If it's too strong, okay, what he said, I get that.
there you
But
go.
listen to me, okay? Y'all brought up sin. Sin is sin. Right and wrong is right and wrong. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to do sin. Sin will happen. Offense will happen. You will never be perfect until you leave this body, okay? Point
Yes,
that
that's
I'm
true.
trying to make is that when we're talking about a marriage, you also have to keep on the other side that there's, the part that some people do not get married, or it's not meant for them. God knows that it's not meant for them. There's a reason why God brought them here, for them to not be married. It's not their choice. It was God's decision, because he knew what they were going to do before they even know what they're going to do. God knows everything, the choices that we're going to make and what we're supposed to be doing. So why will we sit up here and think that it's not meant for us, or getting beside ourselves and like, oh, I'm not doing what God wants me to do? That's just, it's a waste of time and energy. You just basically have to know that you are being guided. As long as you are asking for his guidance, for the Spirit to guide you through everything, then you should be secure enough to know that you will be protected and guided in every walk in your life.
And just know if you do commit the wrong and all that type of stuff, don't blame God and say, well, God, you didn't guide me.
It's so true. You can't blame God.
You gotta blame yourself. You got hey, listen, hey man, look, people that. But at the end of the day, that's that's why marriage ain't pushed, on people nowadays. Like we were saying earlier. But hey, well, I got one more question for you, Chef. I said, in your own words, describe what a successful marriage should look like to the viewers. What a successful marriage should look like.
Hmm.
Give us the like, your point of view on how it should look.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
can't say what a successful marriage would look like for anybody else. I can only say what a successful marriage looks like for me. And for me, it's just a loving household, the kids coming up, growing up under a good mom and a good father, uh, husband and wife, and people just living a prosperous life together in harmony. Now, I'm not saying that problems may not come, because, like you said, we're all going to go through whatever our situations may be. But it's about accomplishing that, getting past that, and continue to move on. That's an experience of life. You know, sometimes people will halt the succession of their marriage because they get hung up on situations that may happen.
Mhm.
You know, God will give you over to a reprobated mind if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over. You know, He'll give you over and you won't have no success in that. But if you could just make your mistakes, no matter what it is, I'm not saying cheating or whatever, but whatever mistake, you could be bad with money. Just you're not paying your rent and your family ain't got no roof over their head and stuff like that. Y'all getting threatened to be put out. Stop making those mistakes, move on, and just have success.
Yeah, that's about right. That's
Here's
it.
the distraction that they came out with in the 90s. I could do bad all by myself. You give people that alternative, they gonna run with that. You know, like, look, I can do bad all by myself. You messed up, I'm gone. You know?
True, 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 true. I mean, for me, it's like you said. See, I asked you, that question. I said a successful marriage. That's everything anybody would say. I would say the same thing, but I just worded it a little different because you listen. One thing you got to understand: in most marriages, we start with the man, then we go with the woman. Listen, if the man is not he not happy himself, how can he make a woman happy? That's number
Mhm.
one. Okay, so now with that being said, like I said, if you are a happy man, and some people say, "What you mean a happy man?" Listen, you know how you feel on the inside when you wake up in the morning. I'm blessed. When you wake up in the morning, I'm thankful. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful for all the things that I have, and I want to share with this person. Guess what? You know what it is to love yourself. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't know how to love themselves.
Mhm.
I'm one of the people that no, I love myself and I know how to love my wife. You know what I'm saying? Listen, sacrifice, we talk about that. We talk about that. We talk about trust. And those are the key components for me. And I know that's the same thing for you, Dave. Um, you know, when you got those two things, you know what I'm saying, everything else will fall in place. But also, what I mean, we want a structure of a home, you know what I'm saying, with the kids, you know what I'm saying. We want them to grow up to have the same ideas and thoughts, and they're going to have their own journey, but we want to encourage them to do the right thing and what we desire for them, but they're going to have their own journey, but we desire, greatness for them, and we try to put them on the right path. You know what I'm saying? As a father and mother, that's what we want for our children. We if they see love, us giving love to our spouse, they'll do the same thing. They'll grow up with the same mentality, the same ideas of how to have a successful marriage because they see their parents having that same thing. Growing up, and that's why I'm passionate about marriage because I was around it growing up. My mother, my father, my grandparents, my family in different places. All I see was marriage, and I seen it was good, and I seen there was some rough, some bad marriages. But guess what? I saw it, and I picked. I got some good things from it, got some bad things from it, but mostly I seen a successful marriage. No matter what they went through, they stuck it out. Was it always good? No, it was bad, but they stuck it out. And at the end of the day, I did see them really loving one another. I'm gonna share a story with you guys, and then I'm gonna let you say something to me if you wanted to. Uh, I was about I think I was like 12 or 13. This is how much, I really love my parents. My biological moms didn't they got married when I was a kid. Like my mother was 16, my dad was 19, right? But when my father got married a second time, listen, I was so happy for him. I was about 12 or 13 years old. I was crying for him because I seen the love that he had for this person. You know what I'm saying? His wife. I seen the love that he had for her. And I really, as a man growing up, as a young teenager, I really was happy for my father. And I think that was a big impact on me about seeing marriage, how they went through stuff. Uh, I mean, they went through some stuff, but I seen the love that they had for one another, and I say that's what I want. I wanted that. I wanted to give a woman that same thing. My father would
do anything for her. You know, go to do trips. They was going, man, listen, I seen it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's what I want. You know, I see a successful marriage like that. They going through the rough times. They sticking out. Oh, I don't want to be with you no more. Oh, we get a divorce. They never did it, but they said it. You know what I'm saying? And now it's one thing I will tell you. I don't condone people saying that D word. You know, the power of the tongue. So you don't got to say that. You just like, you know what? Leave me alone right now. You know what I mean? So I say all that to say the success of a marriage is going through trying times, you know, sticking it out, you know, trusting them and giving sacrifice. So, you know, that's what I just want to say about, you know, having a successful sacrifice. And, you know, it's big. And, you know, it's big for me. Good. Today, you want to say something?
I'm a little different, so yeah, I'm definitely different. I've been around a lot of people. My parents are still married over 45 years. I've had marriage people all around me, and I am not that type. You know, my life has been completely different, and it's because I've followed my own path that possibly people could say I gave up on the spouse type of behavior, and I will agree. So yes, I don't have that. I that's why I look at it as I know I'm different, and I accept that as myself. You know, I'm still very confident in the fact that yeah, I had my previous relationships, and it did not work. I tried to the best of my ability at the time. My ability is short fused, and if you can't come in between that little short fuse, I can't do nothing. So would it mean that I need some help? Possibly, but I get my help every single day. So it's like my life of seeing marriage is I've seen marriage all around me for a very long time, but for me, it has not been that way. And I look at it as still a beautiful thing for myself because I'm not missing anything. I don't feel like, I'm upset about it. It's just what it has been for me. And I accepted that. And I'm okay with it. Now, if it ever happens again, I doubt it because I don't want it. That's how I feel. It's too much. It's too much. The way our world is today. Like I feel like I would have to start a marriage and get a prenup. That's how I think, because you never know who you're really getting unless you've been with them for a long time. 50s is coming right around the corner for me. So, so I see it totally different. I see it totally different.
I got you.
Marriage has been all in my life. But for me and who I am, that has not been for me. And that's why I say some people are totally different. Some people, you can't always look at who you are and live your life and say, this is the way it should be always. And everybody else should have the same thing. Or the choices you've made is the reason why you don't have it. No. That's not always the case. That's not the case at all. There's times when it's not meant for us. And I feel like that might be something that could be for me because I have a history. And my history is beautifully ugly. It's a beautiful, ugly look. And I've accepted.
You want to say something?
No.
Today, are we all meant to be happy?
I think that there is. Okay. I think we talked about it recently, where I don't know if it was a conversation here, but when you have generational curses, and if you are not clearing your generational curse, I don't know if you can be happy. So that's it. Remember, you come in this earth to learn something, and you have to learn it right in order to be happy.
But the question was, are we meant to be happy?
I don't know. I can't give you that because, like I said, when I think of people, I put in the mindset of when you came on this earth, you have something to clear or learn or know and to experience so that you can become on a higher level and you have ascension in your life. And if you're not doing that part, how can you really be happy? You have to know and seek it for yourself to know what it is that you have something inside of you that needs to be changed.
And that's a lot of people. A lot of people are not happy. Happiness is within you. I can't make my wife happy if she's not happy within herself.
Right.
Can't. She'll be forever looking for something that's inside of her all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and today people look for other folks to make them happy, and they miserable inside. So here it is. I come bring my joyous self, all my happiness, flowers and butterflies and daisies, but you all rainy clouds on the inside. How can I make you happy on the inside when you can't even make yourself happy?
Right.
It start with you first.
Yeah.
That's where it started. But listen, this was a great topic. But Seafood King, would you let everybody know where you're located and everybody can come through if they're in PA? Let them know, please.
Yes, indeed. I'm the Seafood King. My restaurant is Family Chicken and Waffles, Seafood and Soul Food. We're in Easton, Pennsylvania at 1800 Sullivan's Trail, Suite 360. It's a nice little small family restaurant. Get your seafood, get your soul food, and just come on out. Great ambiance. We got the music, always about God on Sundays. So you're going to come there and hear some gospel music. But come on out. Family Chicken and Waffles. Follow us on Instagram or on Facebook. Same name. TikTok too until they shut it down. Family Chicken and Waffles.
Oh, man. It was great to have you, G. Chef. We would love to have you again.
No doubt.
We posted. Listen, this was a great topic, guys. I love everybody, and we'll talk to you soon.
No doubt. Tanair, good meeting you.
Yes,
All right.
you too.
All right. Take care, guys.
All right.